Hello, welcome. My name is Obeda. Welcome. I want to share with you how to build your house in our country, Ghana. How to build your house in GH. A lot of people would want to build their own house. Almost everybody thinks about that. Actually, I think almost all humans will think about maybe how to become rich, how to get a job, how to own their own house. They will say that I was the first person to build a house or buy a house. It's key to many people. I was the first person to go to college in my family. Things like that. Because human beings want to be successful, and every one of us would want to be successful. So most people think that owning a house means that you're successful. So, so almost everybody would want to build a house. And at a point in time, when you're in your old age and you didn't do anything like that, they will say that I'm a brat. And to me, I see that in grandma or man. So I briefly would want to share some of the thoughts. We've been in construction works for a while. We decided to pull out a bit, but we channel to you know property development, and building a house takes a lot of money. Whether you're building to stay there or you're building to sell, it takes a lot of money. So it's not something that you should do without planning it. So most people would get a job and the next thing they are thinking about is to buy a plot and start to build. I think that our narratives, the way we've been, our orientation on wealth creation, and the key things that impede wealth creation for majority of people, we have not challenged them. So most people, building a house will make them poor in our country. That's why you see a lot of uncompleted structures all over. Because it's not something that we think we should think through before we do. Because it's a big deal for people to own a house. It's huge, huge. So once I get a job, the next minute I'm buying a plot and I'm building. And some others will go and get a mortgage, what they call mortgage in Ghana. My thinking is that, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you have to have a plan before you put a lot of money in a house, because once the money goes into that house, it never comes back. So I would get the money, whether it's salary or income or profit from the business. I will put it in something that can add something to the money, and then give myself some bit of time before I plan to build that house. So that you don't stress so much. I don't think you should use 5 years and 10 years to build a house. I think that you should plan well. And building a house is not the end of life. So some people settle once they build a house, and now they have reached everywhere. So some of the factors that you would want to look at will be where to get the land. You have to be very meticulous about that, because almost every land, you will have somebody who claim that it is for them. So once you're getting to buy a land, look where, especially if it's in the city, particularly Accra. So most people have lost their money, or most people are fighting over something that they didn't have to put themselves in the first place, but they were thoughtful. They believe somebody, they parted with their money, and that was it. So the first option, I'm assuming that you have planned well, you have your money, and you would want to build that house. So look at the land where. Don't just believe anybody, especially the agent. Make sure you do your due diligence to make sure that you're not losing that money to somebody. A lot of us would lose money, and you don't want somebody to take you to police station because you have given them money. You have money, you have given somebody money to buy a land from them, and next time you are in police, fighting for your life. So make sure you make critical decision on the land. The next one is once you're set, make sure you get a very well informed industrial man somebody who understands construction, whether it's a foreman or as an engineer. Make sure somebody who is in the industry. And I don't think you should go and get a contractor if you don't have much money. I don't think so. Unless you have really planned and you have a lot of money. Most people don't have money to get the services of a contractor. A contractor would have to put his markup on it. He has to move his machines. He has to pay all kind of things that an individual may not have to pay. So if you're not in that bracket where you have a lot of money, then get an engineer to help you. Somebody talk to a friend who knows a friend, and you'll be able to get somebody to get you some bit of technical. Don't believe that you can do it though. A lot of people do this, and they are putting 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in a building, and they think that they understand how to build. You understand how you build, no problem. But when you finish, you see that if you depended so much on these masons, there will be problems. Because water will be moving through the building, electricity will be moving through the building. You are holding loads somewhere. You don't want the building will be reacting with the atmosphere. You don't want to go through a lot of things that people go through. People have a lot of problems with their houses that they supervise that they had no experience supervising. So get somebody's information, get some data from somebody, even if you want to be on there. Most people don't trust anybody. That's why they are screwed on their building. They don't trust anybody, so they are the engineer and they have no idea what building is about. They'll tell you it's my money. You can't tell me what to use my money for, no problem. They will tell you what to use your money for when you get there. So get somebody informed. Get somebody. All of us will have a friend or family or somebody who has done it and who understands it, who understands the drawing, who understands the industry. When something is going wrong, they can see it. It's very key because you're putting a lot of money there. So make sure that you get somebody who is informed. The next one will be maybe they'll help you to get the drawings. Get some drawing. Don't sketch. You don't. This is very technical area that you will need somebody to help you. To do it and do it well. Or you build a building and when you finish, there's no air. A lot of things are shaking. The light comes today, tomorrow it doesn't come. The water is in the concrete everywhere. Because it's not an industry, it. So get somebody, get the drawings, ask a lot of questions on the drawing because some of the architects or the draftsmen they just download. So livability, living in a building becomes a problem because they downloaded from the winter weather. So this is Ghana. If you're building in Ghana, this is Ghana. So make somebody, especially if you get somebody who is already building houses, they will come with a lot of information that will help you because they're making a lot of decisions to get a building which becomes the finished product. And the quality of those decisions will decide the quality of the building that you get. The quality of the people that you use in building that house is okay. So get somebody, even if you don't have much. Most of us don't have that much money, but you can negotiate with that person. I'll pay you monthly, or I'll pay you maybe every 2 months or every 3 months. Have a way to discuss with that person how you're going to compensate or pay them. Because they bring in a lot and they can save you a lot of money. Because once the money goes into the building, if that thing is wrong, it will not only cost you to rebuild, though, you have to pull it down, and that is also cost. So it's double cost. You don't save that much on construction. You compromise on quality, you will do it again. You compromise on quality, you will do it again. So you also have to have some sense of respect. If you put the team together and you go to the site, respect them. Show them respect. They like to be greeted. They like to be trusted, even though they can do things that you don't have to trust them. You still have to. And you go there and you put your hand in your pocket and you roll your key somewhere. They will look at you. They're so much interested in people seeing their value. And that's how you work with these guys. So if they work with you, they have a lot of information because this is the industry they know. They have a lot of data, a lot of information, and you want to rely on them. They have their foreman, they have the engineer there, but when you go there, they would want to see your humanity. So sometimes buy them some bread. Sometimes they will screw you. Don't escalate it too much. It's part of the game. Sometimes they will take cement. It is part of the game. Don't make it so like nobody will cheat you. They know if they are not honest, they know how to cheat you. So don't worry about that. What you're worrying about is the quality of the head, the engineer, the foreman that you put there. His technical skill and his character is very key. Because if he's okay, a lot of the things will be fine. You don't have to worry. And I'd rather get somebody like that and relieve myself of that much stress. Because unless you're in the industry, you don't know the psyche of the boys. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know the building. You overstress. And so I see a lot of boys building, especially those who work in the with the communication people, the bank and the insurance people. They think that they're very smart. No, very few of you will be able to get it right. That's why they build, you go there, and the next 2 years they're still putting a lot of money to maintain the building because the quality of the engineering decisions that went in the construction, was weak. So make sure that you trust the boys. Make sure that you trust the boys, and then keep records of the money from the land purchasing, from the day you purchase the land to everything that you incur on the land. Maybe if there is fight on the land, if you pay money, write everything. Some people will tell you that me, I don't like writing because when I look at the figures, my heart. You will look at the figures, your heart, but you still have to keep data. So write everything that you're spending there, the labor, the materials, everything in between. Write them. Write them in a book or keep them on your computer. It's needful. At least you will have a fair idea. But before you do that, you should also know. You do some basic costing on the project. Do some basic costing on the project. Sit the person down. Tell me how much you think this one is going to cost. Break the building into stages, from the ground to this. Let them explain it to you and let them tell you how much materials. Do some basic costing. It is very key. It will guide you. Sometimes it will help you to even hold on with the project until you have enough money. So don't believe this thing is a house, so you just have to screw everything to go and build that house, because that house is not going to save you money. Building a house does not save you money. Building a house does not save anybody money. Building a house is a social status. Building a house is something that people think that now you are rich. They'll give you respect. But if you want financial independence and you want to create a lot of wealth, your house that you have built, that you're living in, if anybody will tell you, didn't save them any money. You actually spend more living in your own house, because now the electricity is double or 3 times. The water comes in a lot. Now, every little thing you have to take care of it. There will be breakages. There will be problems every now and then. The door will break down, the window. You have to weed the place. So it's comfort. But in terms of you saying that I'm tired of paying rent, so I will save more money by building, I don't think that is the way. I don't think that is the way. That's why you need to have a lot of assets to start to build a house. Don't let them. A lot of us attach so much to house, owning a house, than having financial independence. Most people would want to own a house than to be free financially. So that's why they build a house, but they can't quit the job, even though they don't like the job. And that's why they are very scared when they want to fire them from that job, because they have that house, but they don't have any other source of revenue. They have not invested in anything except that house. And that house that you're living in, that nobody is paying you rent, no income is coming in. So once they threaten you that they are taking you off the job, now there's problem. So some people will have their house, but there's no income coming in because they didn't plan their finances. So I am for more of building things that will make me free financially than just building a house. That is me. I'm not much. I mean, if you build a house, fine, but I'm not much interested in you owning a house and you can't leave that job and you're scared when they fire you. Now that Corona is around and most jobs are, cutting employment and things like that. A lot of people have their houses they have built, but they're scared because they don't know where the next meal, the next salary is going to come from. But they have the house. So owning a house is nothing, as in you having freedom and building your financial future. So I think a house should be built out of abundance of your wealth, of the investment that you have made. But most people will use salary directly and put it in the house. They take salary and put it in the house. They take salary and put it. And when you finish that house, your mother will be very happy. Your friends will be very happy. But financially, you will not be that happy. So plan well. And some people also want to build 10-bedroom house, 8-bedroom house, and they have no children, or they have 1 or 2 or 3 children. I don't think you need that unless you have a lot of money. Build the one that you can contain, because there's maintenance, there are problems, there's cost. The bigger the house, the more costly it is, even in maintaining it. If you have to paint a 10-bedroom house, it takes a lot of money. And sometimes you live in just 1 bedroom. Your children, the rest of the bedrooms will be there. You will not even rent them. Sometimes the whole year you will not even enter that room. Yet it costs you money, which you would have you should have built a different plan and maybe sold one or rented, because your financial future is so key. It's far better than you buying a nice car or buying a nice house, because then there is pressure. The pressure will go down. When, let's say, you are paid 2,000 a month in Ghana, but you have extra business, extra investments that also bring you 2,000. Let's say you live on 2,000 a month with your family. Now, when you lose that job, you know that your other investments are bringing that kind of money. You will not panic. But if you put everything in a house and there's no extra income coming in except the salary, and they tell you that you have lost that house, that job, there will be problem. There will be challenges. So my name is Obedako. I'm talking about how to build your house. Some of the few things that I think you should learn in building that house, and some of the psyche that you have developed. You have to develop, and you have to know that it's the best way of building your house is to build out of your profit. You build out of your profit, not out of your income, your profit. When you have extra, you build with that. It's so key to focus on the financial freedom and the liberty and the investment that you're creating for your future than just owning a house. I'm not impressed with the house that you have if you don't have other income coming in from everywhere. Because once you lose that job, that house will mean nothing to you. And that's why most people become, they corrupt, to build, because they don't expand, they don't invest it. So mail the money, save the money, expand the money, grow the money. Then out of the growth, you start to do something for yourself. Because it takes a lot of money to build a house. That is true. And as a business person, I don't build for individuals because the problems are too many. So and I don't think that if you don't have much money, you get a contractor. No. And if you don't have a lot of money, and most of us don't even qualify for the mortgage anyway, so they won't give us mortgage. But you can have a plan that you have. You can develop a plan and to build that house if you have a good structure, and don't be so much extravagant in terms of your design. If you are on budget, if you don't have that much money, then don't go and build that big house that when you finish building, you look at the house and you're angry because it's a proof that you are not diligent in your approach in building that house. So let me go through the steps and then I will draw to close. So I'm saying that if you want to build a house, which is a good thing, but don't think that building a house will save you money from the rent. It's not true. You still spend the money. So you build a house for convenience, for status, for comfort. The house that you're living in doesn't make anybody rich unless you sell it. So until that house is sold, or until you rent that house, don't tell me that houses bring you money. And when those big English people come to tell you that there's equity in your house and the house is increasing in value, those are just buko. When you're hot and you want to sell that house, you'll be shocked how much they will give you. So don't worry about those book. The valuers will come and give you a kind of big English. When you're hot, you want to sell that house, you will see the value. That's where you see the real value of the house, not what they tell you. So you should not be so much passionate and emotional. Some people will show you their house and it's okay, it's fun, but in terms of you building wealth, how many rich people do you see them counting their house to you? They don't even know They have so much wealth. And why do we call them rich? Is because they have businesses, investments. That's why we could say that they are rich. Not the house they live in. Unfortunately, when we live, there's footballers and the musicians. That's what they think is worth. Musicians think that they show you their house, it means they are rich. That's deceptive. Movie actors will show you their house and the cars they drive, and the children will follow that. This one is rich. That's not richness. That's somebody spending money. The rich, very rich people, they have businesses that are bringing in money every day, every minute. The portfolios are growing. They don't show their house. The house is nothing to them. The cars they drive, they don't boast. If you see anybody boasting with a car and a house, he's not rich, he's poor. He's just a poor person who has money. Rich people create different sources of revenue. That's why they are rich. So they are structured in thinking, and they build structures and systems around money. That's why they are rich. So if you, like for instance, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build proper businesses, don't put a house in front of you and car. No. The first thing to spot any crook is when they are boasting about cars and houses. They don't show you anything about their business. They don't know. You don't know how many people they employ, how much revenue their businesses are bringing in. They just show you their houses and their cars. They are fake. They are fake, and that's why a lot of these young boys think that buying a white Corolla means that they have money. Wrong understanding of money. So the house that you build beautifully. So you live abroad. You want to build a house here you never live in. Why do you build 10-bedroom house? Maybe you want to take care of your family, no problem. Help them. But don't tell us that makes that you are rich. You're not rich. You're just like anybody else. You're surviving. So look at the land. Land is critical if you're building in Accra. Critical. You can lose the money that fast if you are not diligent. So look at the land. Where? Look at the land where. Make sure it's not somewhere that when it rains, you can survive there. So if you want to buy the land, maybe buy it when it's raining. That way you will know the area proper. The next one is that I said that one of your best decisions will be planning way ahead of you starting to build that house. So you build with your profit, not with the salary. You plan well and get a proper costing. Do all the design and let them give you some bits, not some average cost. If nothing at all, at least not the finishing is the stuff thing. You at least get a fair idea how much that building is going to cost you. And the next one is getting very well informed technical person who will lead the project for you. If you're not into building, don't think that you understand it. It's that technical. They don't have to charge you extra, but the information they give you will be so much helpful to save you from a lot of pain. People have bought properties from these estate developers, and after 2 years, they are spending so much. I remember I visited a friend of ours sometime, and I went to the estate, and he's virtually crashing everything to rebuild it because the construction was that bad. The construction was that bad. So it's a technical field. You really are. There was a time that we had this guy who we had to go in to correct his building for him, and I think that he thought he was right, so he was using this voice, and they did a very bad work for him. He double spent. He ended up spending so much on that building because it takes a lot to. It takes a lot of information, a lot of technical knowledge to build a house that is of quality and that you use with less stress and pain, where you have a lot of things well thought out and implemented. So the next one is make sure you write all the things that you do. Write everything that you're doing, the cost, and make sure you treat the boys there well if you go to site. And so, and the next one is what, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much. My name is